for the next fort. It's your turn.
What is up, everyone? Old Will Scrub here, and this time we're going to be doing book toolkit videos in Culdcept Saga. For this toolkit video, we're going to be dealing with Powder Eater. It's my little variation called Kelpie Eater. It's a combination of April's Angry Eyes with my Kelpie flair to it. Angry Eyes is a really good, strong Powder Eater deck that you can find on CuldceptCentral.com. It is the largest Culdcept website. And essentially, Kelpie is a 1/1 creature, which is actually the weakest creature, I believe. I don't think there's anything worse. But one of the greatest things about Kelpie, or Powder Eater, is when Powder Eater moves, it duplicates itself. Let's see, where is it going to be? Alright. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put down a Powder Eater. Now, at this early stage, it could be zapped away easily. You only need to do 1 total damage to it.
It's your turn.
See if I can actually get the card I need. Or any cards. Okay. This is good. This is really good. Another creature I actually just added. Having fun with commands? It's okay. Another creature I just added is Brass Idol. You can make idol decks. Idols have been annoying forever. They're no longer in Revolt. I believe idols have been replaced with world spells. Basically, like this one is a global ability. All scepters draw 2 cards when drawing instead of 1. Which means at the beginning of our turn, instead of drawing 1 card, we draw 2. It'll let us burn through our cards faster and get to the cards we need faster. Even though it helps the enemy, they will usually attack it. It's kind of funny.
Discard a card.
In a surprising turn of events, wow. That's really surprising. Okay, so what I'm going to need to do is Telegnosis again. Oh, on this turn. Telegnosis gives you Enlightenment for 1 turn.
Follow the guidance.
Not gonna get my fortune told. Instead, I'm gonna level that up. I can get Kelpie out relatively quickly.
Discard a card.
Now, how do you make Powder Eater decent into actually amazing? Oh, look at this. Landed right next to it. Kinda nice.
Your turn. Discard a card.
Well, Spirit Walk. Basically, when you go past a creature, you can move it. Spirit Walk, you can move it to any available land in the entire map. Now, why would you move a 1/1 creature? You wouldn't. You can actually make it into a... You can make it up to 100 HP with cards like Fat Body and Mutation. What's in my hand? Okay, so Holy Word 0. I'm not actually going to use it because I'm going to have to discard something anyway. So his haste is gone. Stay for 1 turn. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to place Powder Eater here as well. Hopefully I can get something decent. Although he can override Holy Word 0 with that.
Brave Song.
Well, that Kelpie is gone. Oh, he didn't attack it. Wow.
Enemy territory. It's your turn.
Yes. Okay, so, like I said, cards like Fat Body. Fat Body, which one? That's a good question. What are you gonna do? You know, I could Fat Body this one. Eventually I'm gonna put Spirit Walk on it, but it's like, this one but this one gets a bonus from the land. Air creature on air land or matching element creature on its own land gets plus 10 HP per land level. So I'm gonna put it on him.
You may cast a spell.
Usually you can only use one spell every turn. Cards like Fat Body have double cast, which means you can use as many cards as you have double spells. If you have 4 Fat Bodies, you can use all 4 in one turn. Let's see how this one pans out.
Aim for the castle. You received a reward. Good luck on your next journey.
Alright.
It's your turn.
Great example of another good card.
A card.
Although it kind of does have a little weakness. And that is Mutation. Fat Body. Remember, Kelpie or Powder Eater's a 1/1. Or even Kelpie is, what, 30, I think? 30. Fat Body is plus 20 HP, minus 20 attack. Mutation is plus 20 HP, but it adds poison to the creature.
Mutation.
So now, Kelpie just on this airland is a 0/40 with 10 HP boost. Now, poison does, I believe, 10 damage when you're battling
Discard a card.
your creature. Which is not really that great, it's not what I want.
It's your turn.
But you can replace like
A card.
this. Oh no, what? No, I don't want to discard that. I will. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna put Spirit Walk on it, which will override the
Spirit Walk.
poison. And give it Spirit Walk.
Discard a card. Aim for the next fort.
Which is really nice to know is you can actually override just about any enchantment by using another enchantment.
Discard a card. Aim for the castle. Discard a card.
Hopefully I can place that Rahab soon, because that's a really great card.
You've stopped in your own territory.
That's a little dangerous right now.
Discard a card.
Ooh,
Discard a card.
using the Fat Body again.
Fat Body.
Now, this Kelpie is a 0/60. And, remember, I think I said Kelpie again. I don't know why I have Kelpie stuck in the brain. Now the Powder Eater is a 0/60.
You may cast
Actually,
a
0/61.
spell again.
The greatest thing about that is,
You received a reward. Good luck on your
put
next
Kelpie down
journey.
here. Is remember, it has Spirit Walk, so I can move it anywhere in the entire map I want, and it'll be at 060 there. Like Rahab, I can't play because I need technically 2 water lands.
It's your turn. Aim for the next fort. You've
Let me level
stopped
this
in
up
your
to
own territory.
200.
Discard a card.
Now, one of the things you should know is once we're done with this match, I'm going to show you what the book is. I'm going to go through all the cards, explain more stuff into detail, but one thing you should know is you never have to follow any book. Like 100%.
It's your turn.
Ooh, that's what I want.
Discard
That's what I
a
want.
card.
The true winner is determined.
Dr. Blue Jay, thank you very much for the follow. I'm getting rid of you,
Discard a card.
and I'm using... Ooh, that's kind of dangerous. I'll wait. Thanks for the late reply there, Meteor. What you're watching right now is a book toolkit video on a Kelpie Powder Eater deck that I made. Perfect. Now remember, this thing has Spirit Walk, and like I said, whenever you go past a creature, you can use it. You can do territory abilities. You can level up the land, you can change the terrain if you have enough mana. Creature movement, creature exchange. When you have Spirit Walk on a creature, you can move it anywhere there's a free spot. Anywhere in the entire map. This is how Powder Eaters become powerful. In a very short amount of time, you can turn a 1/1 creature into, this is 61 HP on top of 10 HP boost from the land. So in battle, 70 HP. I'm gonna put him... Ooh, where am I gonna put you? I'm gonna put him right here on this waterland. Why did I put it there versus others? Remember, like I said, if you land on it or go past a creature, you can move it. Which means when I go past that creature, I can move it. Oh, look, he's gonna attack that.
Territory.
That's cute.
Hellhound versus.
Let's see how this works.
Prepare for battle.
Let's see how this works. Oh, he's doing 70 damage. Nice. I'm doing no damage. Cards like Counter Amulet, Gaseous Form, they neutralize your opponent's attack, or they counter
The
it,
defense withstood the attack.
and neutralize everything in general.
It's your turn.
He kind of screwed himself over there.
Card.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to relief Kelpie onto Brass Idol. Now remember, Kelpie is a 30-30 creature, or 30 attack and 30 HP, and when it's on its matching color type, land, so water creature on a water land, everybody else, basically anybody who does not own Kelpie, has to land there. It's great, which means you never just go past it. He has to land on it always.
Aim for the next fort. You've stopped
Territory?
enemy territory.
Creature movement? Move it here. Oh, because I went past Powder Eater, I can move it again. How are you doing, Dr. Blue Jay?
Discard a card.
He landed on a 1/1 powder eater and he couldn't do it. He couldn't damage it. That's bad. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of this. You can't go on. Of course, you can't go on green for whatever reason.
Discard a card.
So now, it's basically the end for him. Okay,
Aim for the castle.
basic powder eater deck is
It's your turn. Discard
powder
a
eater,
card.
and barely. There are not even any blue creatures. There's blue, yellow hybrids, like Frost Beast. I don't like doing that. I like Kelpie. I like the power of stopping someone and forcing them to land on it all the time. Kelpie is amazing for that. Powder Eater is great for situational things like taking over lands. Ooh, another relief. I don't need it.
Aim for
Alright,
the
now,
castle.
put him down. Get rid of Aura Blade. Rahab gives 10 HP boost to every water and air creature. In this book is only water and air. There's no other type. So in battle, they get an additional 10 HP. So now, things like the Powder Eater in battle are now 070 HP. I don't need any more.
Discard a card.
Once I get to the Kelpie again, it literally will mark the end for him.
Discard a card.
Now again, you don't have to do this book exactly the same way that I do, or exactly the same way somebody else does it.
Discard a card.
Get rid of you. Oh, we're gonna make a big Powder Eater.
Mutation.
I'm gonna mutate, not you, because I don't want to lose the Spirit Walk. I'm gonna mutate you, which turns you into a 060 or 081 HP. Next turn, it's going to be a 0100.
Good luck on your next journey. Discard a card.
Now it would have been great to actually have kept that relief.
Discard a card.
There's another little trick with Culdcept, and that is
Brave soul.
relief, where you can send one creature from one area and put it into another land.
It's your turn.
Kind of like how I put
Discard a card.
I swapped the Kelpie from here with the Brass Idol that was over here. If you swap a creature that has an enchantment, it loses that enchantment. So, kind of sucks if the enchantment is something you want, but really great if the enchantment is something useless.
Fat body.
So here is our first 0100 Powder Eater.
You may cast a spell again.
Once I can get Spirit Walk on that, oh, it'll be over.
Discard a card.
Some cards do change in Culdcept Revolt. Like, I have Storm Shield, I think, on me right now.
Discard a
Or
card.
Storm Armor, which strength equals number of air creatures in play times 10, and HP equals number of water creatures in play times 10. In Revolt, it's different. It's number of air lands you control and number of water lands you control. And same for Magma Armor, with fire for strength and green for HP. Some things like Aura Blade aren't there. Same for Counter Amulet. There are other ones that do the same. reflect, or just generally, like this one, neutralize all attacks. This one neutralizes all non-scroll attacks. For the most part, AI doesn't use scrolls, and scrolls are just an item you can use that does damage that usually you can't block it. And it's usually like does 30 damage. Does 50 damage, maybe a critical. Let's discard that. And use Fat Body on the Spirit Walk guy, because now he's a 080 that I can Spirit Walk around all day long.
You may cast a spell again.
Yes. Now we're gonna go past Kelpie. Raise it up to level 4. Basically, Kelpie's this game is kind of like Magic the Gathering versus Monopoly or Fortune Street, where instead of putting hotels or houses down, just jack the land up. It's kind of like rent.
Discard a card.
Now watch him try his darndest to not hit Kelpie at all.
It's your turn. Discard a card.
I'm gonna get rid of Aura Blade and land protect Kelpie. I don't think he has spells that can change Kelpie in any way, shape, or form, but I want to protect from it. They can do things like, I forgot what it's called, but there's one where you just have to battle it once, and at the end of the battle, Kelpie would just die. I've had that happen before, and it's not fun. I already have items. Let's go for spell. Nice, another relief.
Discard a card. Discard a card. It's your turn. Discard a card.
I'm almost guaranteeing, and it depends on what they roll, that when he goes around here to here, the next time he rolls when he's over here, probably going to go left. He's not going to want to go right. They know how bad Kelpie is. They don't want to deal with it. I'm going to get rid of this. Nope.
Discard a card.
I'll get rid of you. Remember when I said that if you have a creature with an enchantment, you can get rid of it? I'm going to relieve him with him. Remember, he had poison on him. Now he doesn't. That's one of the reasons why you want stuff like relief. Now I can send a couple Kelpies or a couple powder eaters over here to form a little 0-100 Congo line. This guy's now going to get a boost because he's on Waterland, so now he gets 80 HP.
Discard.
Let's watch how this works.
Discard a card.
Haste.
I might even do another book toolkit video after this one.
Aim for the next fort. It's your turn.
Now, just to let you know, when I come this way, if I'm gonna hit one, I'll land on it. I don't care. But if I'm gonna land on this one, probably not. No, I only have 237. That would... Excuse me, that would hurt me.
You've stopped in your own territory.
Creature movement. Now we're gonna move Powder Eater. Say, let's put him over here. It's one of the greatest things about Powder Eater.
Discard.
Well, the Powder Eater Spirit Walk combo. You could just put it all day long. Wow, he actually landed on Kelpie. You know, he's the first person to actually just decide to land automatically on it.
Enemy territory.
Colossus.
Here's where you have to be careful.
Kelpie.
Colossus is a 70/70 creature. It could really mess you up. And you do something like Counter Amulet. This is all math. Actually, this isn't even bad. Trying to teach people, like, Kelpie's toll fee is 864. How do you teach somebody that? And it's weird because
It's your turn.
if you have a creature on this which is a neutral land and you transform the land, like, okay, if you transform water, air, earth, or fire to any other element type, so if I were to transform this air to water, all the water would go up in toll fee, and these three, because they're level 1, would be the same amount. If you do that to neutral, it's not the same amount. How do you teach people that? Like, that's the worst. How do you explain to somebody, well, if you use these lands, your toll fee is less. If you use regular lands, your toll fee is more. That's the worst part. I'm gonna put Mutation on you. Never thought about doing that before.
Aim for the next fort.
Ooh, okay. Poseidon is a creature that gives plus 20 HP to all defending creatures. Basically, if he goes to attack any of my creatures,
Discard a card.
they now get additional plus 20 HP.
Aim for the castle. It's
If
your
they
turn.
do that on any water or air creatures, those creatures get plus 30, actually. Okay, Spirit Walk.
Spirit Walk.
Spirit Walk you. It's all math to you, it's all math to me.
Discard a card.
Really, you know, the funniest thing is even though there's a lot of numbers, you really don't need to know any of it.
Discard
Basically,
a
you don't
card.
want to land on anything with big numbers. You want your opponent to land on big numbers.
Received a reward.
That's basically how I do my math.
This journey. It's your turn.
Okay,
Discard
I'm gonna
a
discard
card.
Telly. I'm gonna use this one,
Telegnosis.
which will let me control any land I own on this turn. Territory. Level up to level 5. Expensive proposition, but totally worth it. And like here's an example with Kelpie. It's 2,300 for toll fee.
Reinforce.
You know, if you put another creature down on water, it goes up to like 2,800. How the game comes up with the math, I don't know.
It's your turn.
Also,
Discard a card.
when you do a lap bonus, your lap bonus changes depending on how many creatures you have in play. If you have chains, chains are like I have 3 creatures on water. That's a chain of 3. I'll get extra bonus for doing that.
Aim for the castle. You've stopped in enemy territory.
Creature movement? So watch Kelpie, 2300. Now up to 2500. Sorry, the next one I have will be 2800. No, there's a lot of math, but a lot of it you really don't need to know.
Hunter's Song.
Aim for the next fort. It's your turn. Discard a card. Discard a card. You received a reward. Good luck on your next. You've stopped in your own territory.
Let's move him. So it's gonna tell me my center area for air chain has achieved chain 4 because I own 4 air lands.
Reinforce.
You've stopped. It's your turn. Discard a card. Discard a card. Aim for the next fort.
Can't believe he survived so long and he's still a 1 HP creature. Alright, I'm gonna put down another Rahab. And just so you know, like Poseidon gives plus 20 HP to defending creatures, Rahab gives plus 10 HP to all air and water creatures.
Discard
They
a
don't
card.
stack, meaning you can't have, 4 Poseidons giving,
Follow the guidance of the
plus
card.
80 HP.
Discard a card.
Why would you want 2 of them out?
It's your
Is
turn.
Rahab doesn't give his bonus to himself. Poseidon doesn't give his bonus to himself. But he'll give plus 10 HP. Where did I put the other one? Oh, down here. To him. And he'll give plus 10 HP to him. Yeah, for some reason, because it says, boost HP to water air creatures, it doesn't count itself. But when you have more than one out, like if I had another Poseidon out, they would give each other plus 20 HP in battle. Oh, and Kelpie's now 2800.
Fat Body.
You may cast a spell again.
Chariot.
I don't want anything. Okay.
Aim for the next fort.
But what I do want is I want creature movement. And I'm going to put you here. This way, when I go past Poseidon and I either land on him or I go past him,
Discard
I can move
a
him.
card.
That's another great tip for people.
Discard a card.
Is if you go past a Kelpie
It's your turn.
that you want to move,
Discard a card.
or Powder Eater or whatever. Like if I landed on him, and let's say this was the level 5 land, you can move him over. You can exchange him, whatever. If you go past a Powder Eater that has Spirit Walk, always put the next Powder Eater right past you if you can. If I put him here, I couldn't move him there. But having him here, I can move here, which will copy him. Not relief. But I don't want to use it. It's like this. I don't have creatures, and Poseidon can't go down on Fireland. Okay. I'll move the Powder Eater here. So now, in 2 turns, I was able to make 2 Powder Eaters. One by going past the Spirit Walk one, and then going past the one I just played down to move it.
Haste.
Let's see what his plan is.
Aim for the next fort. You've stopped in
Ooh, he
enemy
can do
territory.
critical damage.
Gladiator.
He can actually kill Powder Eater.
Powder Eater.
Prepare for battle.
So here's where you have to ask yourself, what am I going to do? Powder Eater is going to die. Do I save it or no? Depending on if the land level is important, or land value, not just to me, but if it's important to the AI, that's usually where I get all my cues from. But otherwise, oh, I didn't want to do that. Oh well, I was gonna let Powder Eater die. Bug! Instead of hitting start, I hit Y. Oops.
The battle was a draw.
That's another thing to know is if you're stupid like me.
It's your turn. Discard a card.
Alright, Telegnosis, because this way I can
Telegnosis.
roll any land anywhere that I own. What we got? Tuh. And I just landed on the fort anyway, so it doesn't matter. Lovely. Are you going to be defeated? Answer is yes. Notice something. He ran away.
Discard a card.
He has to hit this fort. And he decided to not land on him.
Mutation.
Let's give this little Powder Eater some more HP. Creature movement. Let's take over the green so he can't use it. Because remember, like the more change you make, the more
Discard
toll
a
fee will
card.
be. Well, if I would have left that open and he would have landed on it,
Discard a card.
his 240 could become a little more tricky.
Brave Song.
Like I said, once this match is over, I'm going to go into the book and show you all the cards that are in it.
Your turn.
and talk about them a little bit more in detail. Unfortunately, I think I won the game. I say unfortunately because I wanted him to hit Kelpie. No.
Good luck on your next journey.
Wow. Never mind.
Discard a card. It's your turn. Discard a card.
I'm gonna discard relief. Now poison doesn't stack, so just get him again.
You've stopped in your own territory.
Let's level up Powder Eater's level to 3.
Discard a card. Discard a card. You've stopped in enemy territory.
Now,
Gladiator versus Powder Eater.
Prepare for battle.
he can do a lot of damage. He can do 150 damage. Let's do Counter Amulet. Now, Counter Amulet again is going to just obliterate him. It's kind of funny. He's going to do 100 strength, boost it to 150. His critical does half damage on top of its damage. Kind of like overtime, time and a half. So now we don't have to worry about him. What are those emotes?
Stood the attack.
Power up L and R.
Insufficient magic power.
Kind of like Monopoly, he now has to do mortgage, but in this case, instead of still owning the property, he loses it all.
It's your turn. Aim for the next
Territory. Movement, because I don't think that was 100.
You've stopped in enemy territory.
Wolverine.
I'm not even going to use my last shield that I have in my hand because I need that for Kelpie.
Prepare for battle.
But what I could do is attack him. He's going to do 50 damage, which barely breaks through. Did a total of 10 damage to my core HP. Nice.
It's your turn. Discard a card.
You know what's funny? I'm actually going to use Find.
Fine.
Because I would like more shields, please.
Discard a card. You've stopped in your own territory. Discard a card.
Hunter's Song.
Alright, hopefully he doesn't get anything. No, he landed. Okay.
Aim for the castle. You've stopped in enemy territory.
Tyrannosaurus.
So I think that hammer is
Kelpie.
20 HP and only critical if
Prepare for battle.
equipped to fire or green. He can't kill it. But I should still protect it anyway. which is what I'm gonna do. Doesn't matter.
The defense withstood the attack. Magic power exhausted.
He ran out.
It's your turn. Discard a card.
Find.
Discard a card.
What's funny is I actually won the game. Remember how you have to hit all the forts and then you go to the castle? Well, if you have the map on a goal, the game will automatically say no, go back to the castle. So he gets plus 20
Play
strength
song.
for the next 4 turns. Okay.
It's your turn. Discard a card.
Telegnosis.
What's funny is I'm about to actually have 2 Kelpies out. Creature exchange, Kelpie.
Aim for the next fort. It's your turn. Discard a card.
Let's play another Telegnosis.
Telegnosis.
Increase that one to level 5 if I can. Yeah, I can. Oh, wait, sorry, game's over.
Aim for the next fort. You have achieved
Okay.
the goal.
Ooh, what's this? Selection. Deals 20 damage to all creatures with territory abilities. Oh, this is nice. Another windshield. I only had 3. Old Idol. Requirements for summoning creatures other than magic costs are ignored. That means stuff like Kelpie, which usually needs a water land. Like, you need to control the water land before you can play it. Gold Idol just says nope. Alright, so let's go into the book, and I can talk more about it. Book edit. Alright, so this is my Kelpie Powder Eater book. Usually, like I said, it doesn't have these. These are not in there. No Gelatinous Walls, no Kelpie, no Poseidon, and no Rahab. What's usually in there is stuff like Frost Beast, which reflects all fire, water, earth, and air attacks, and this one penetrates air and fire, or air and water, sorry. Remember, you don't have to use any book that you find online, any book you see in a video, to a T. You don't have to follow it. This is a nice base. Maybe 90% of this is what you need. You don't need to use any of these water creatures. You can use anything else. You don't need to use Brass Idol. I do for the extra drawing. Okay, so let's go through these cards. Brass Idol. Defensive global ability. Now, defensive means that spells like Acid Rain can kill it. does 30 damage to all defensive creatures. This thing only has 20. You have to be careful with that. You know, if you know you're going up against somebody whose book can do it, and kill it easily, maybe you want to fat body the brass idol to keep it alive. Gelatinous Wall. Probably the best wall in this game. Defensive, and at the end of battle, you gain mana equal to the amount of damage you receive times 5. So if somebody did 10 damage to you, you gain 50 mana. Usually what you would see is they'll do about 50 damage to you, which is 250 mana earned. Because usually the game is going to try to do max damage or kill it. One thing to note about Gelatinous Wall: you have to use Storm Armor. You can't use Counter, and you can't use Gaseous, because this reflects all damage, all non-scroll damage. This one neutralizes them. So if you try to use these with him, you're going to take no damage and you're going to gain no mana. So I usually save Storm Armor for Gelatinous Wall. Kelpie again is a water creature where when if it's on a water land, all scepters except for yourself have to land on it. Like, they literally just stop. There's a card called Quicksand which does the same effect. Okay, so it stops all passing scepters other than the user who owns it when placed on a water land. Poseidon boosts HP plus 20 to all defending creatures. Gotta keep in mind this also does it for the enemy. So if you go to attack and you have Poseidon out, you're gonna give it plus 20 HP. Rahab neutralizes creatures with maximum hit points of 50 and up. So if somebody comes at you with a Colossus, which is 70-70, you're gonna neutralize it instantly. And it boosts HP plus 10 to all water and air creatures in play. Again, also helps your enemy as well. Powder Eater. Now, Powder Eater and Kelpie are the main killers in this deck. I use Kelpie more of as like a kill, if you will, but Powder Eater, again, is a 1/1 creature. 1 strength, 1 HP. When you move it, it makes a copy of itself. You would use cards like Mutation or Fat Body to increase its maximum hit points to 100. Or at the very least, 60 to 100. 60, 80, or 100. Aura Blade, his strength is in battle, plus whatever your maximum hit point value is. This is how you attack with Powder Eater. If you have a 100 HP Powder Eater, you can attack someone for 100. Usually, there's no creature that's going to stop that. Doesn't matter what land they're on. They can't protect themselves from that. Why are there... Now, technically, why are there Counter Amulets and Gaseous Forms when I have better shields, like Storm Armor? Counter Amulet reflects it, which neutralizes and reflects damage. Same with Gaseous Form. This one doesn't reflect the damage, but it neutralizes. This is key. There are cards like Cockatrice, where its bonus attack is transforms your opponent into Wall of Stone. A Cockatrice hitting your 0-100 HP Kelpie or 100 HP Powder Eater can turn it into a Wall of Stone. If you were to use Storm Armor, it's just gonna change it. That's why you need to neutralize the attacks. That's why I have 3 Counter Amulets, 2 gaseous forms, 3 storm armors. Technically, I could put more. I could put, 7 of these forms in there, but Holy Word 0, I mean, I guess I could take them out. Probably the best way, if you wanted to, you could probably put 2 more forms in there, 2 more gaseous forms in there if you take out Holy Word 0. Storm Armor. Strength equals number of air creatures in play, times 10. HP equals number of water creatures in play, times 10. Now remember, Kelpie is a water creature, as are a couple other ones, so there's not going to be a lot of water creatures in play. Maybe 4 to 5. Maybe. It's actually probably closer to 3 to 5, so you're only really going to see like 30 HP with it. But if you have 8 Powder Eaters in play, that's going to give any creature plus 80 attack. That's another way you can attack with Powder Eater. Powder Eater onto a creature, play Storm Armor, instantly increase Powder Eater's attack by 80, 100 or more. It all depends on how long the match has been going, how many Powder Eaters you have. Anti-magic neutralizes any spell that would hit you. Except those that dispel chanting effects. Some people like to use a card called Crusher, where you select a card in target player's hand and destroy it. They will always go after your Storm Armor, or if you're using a red and green deck, Magma Armor. Anti-magic will protect you from the next one. One word of note though, it doesn't protect from everything, because there is Crusher Storm. And what it is it's similar to Magic the Gathering. Let me pull up Crusher Storm. Destroy all item cards from all Scepter's hands. Anti-magic only protects you because Crusher specifically targets you. Crusher Storm targets the game. Because it targets the game, anti-magic can't stop it. So these are things to note, like Crusher Storm doesn't get blocked by it, and a couple others. Chariot. Chariot moves target creature belonging to user, you, 2 spaces. One word to note, you can't move it 1. You would think, maybe I can move it up to 2. No. It's moved to 2. If you wanted to, you can attack with a defensive creature. Normally, defensive creatures cannot attack. Not at all. You can move them around all you want, but you cannot move them onto a creature. Like a creature belonging to the enemy. Chariot will let you do that. Now, why would you do that? Well, Gelatinous Wall, for instance, remember, whatever damage it takes, gain that times 5. Well, let's say you move Gelatinous Wall and you use Storm Armor. Even if you don't survive, or even if you can't take it over, like if the match ends in a draw, you're gaining mana back. Attacking. It's another great way to earn mana quickly. It's also really good, like if you wanted to move it to a different land. Chariot also might remove enchantments, I don't remember. Fat Body. One of the main cards needed for Powder Eater. Fat Body increases target creature's HP, maximum HP by 20. and reduce strength by 20. Now, it kind of is con that the strength goes down 20, but when the maximum HP goes up by 20, the creature's HP at that time also goes up by 20. It doesn't really say that in the card description, but it does, and it's great. So that's why, you know, Powder Eater is a 1-1-1. 1 strength, 1 HP, 1 maximum HP. Using that will make it 0 strength, 20 HP, or 21 HP, and 21 maximum hit points. Usually, again, you can only use 1 spell per turn. With a card like Fat Body, you have double cast, which means you can play another card right after it, another spell card. If you have 4 Fat Bodies in your hand, you can use it 4 times. Find lets you draw a card, and it puts a find in your hand. One thing to note. You would think, okay, this is great. No. I have 2 finds. I can use it twice. Actually, you can use it as many times as you want. It's one of the weird aspects about Culdcept is when it says add blank to your hand. Even if you ran through all of them in your book, like there's only 2. You only need 1 really, but having 2 is better. You can use it as many times as you want because it just gives you another copy. Holy Word 0. Target Scepter's next die roll will be 0. You can use this on yourself, and you can use this on any scepter you want. Why would you use this on yourself? If you landed on, let's say a level 3, landed and enemy controls, and you take over it with whatever card. Say you have Kelpie in your hand, and that's a water land. Well, you can roll 0, this card, right? And then re-land on that land. So that way you can put Kelpie down. That's another trick, like, who are you gonna use it on, yourself or the enemy? I've used it on myself a lot. Land protection. Target enemy cannot be targeted by spells or territory abilities, except those that dispel enchanting effects. Remember how I said Crusher Storm can get through anti-magic while other cards can get through land protection? Land protection only protects if the enemy targets your creature, or in this case your land. Some spells to watch out for, like Acid Rain. Deals 30 damage to all defensive creatures. I found out the hard way. Land protecting a Jelly Wall does not protect it. There are other cards that do the exact same thing, like Burning Hail. Deals 20 damage to all water and air creatures. That would hurt this deck, quickly. Mutation. Maximum HP goes up by 20 to target creature to a maximum of 100. Remember, 100 is the maximum HP a creature can have. And it also adds poison. Poison, if I'm not mistaken, deals 10 damage to target creature at the end of battle. Now, poison is bad. How do you get around that? Well, you can use this next card called Relief. It exchanges 2 creatures in your territories, and then Relief recycles back into your book. So if you have a Kelpie not on a water land, you're probably thinking, why would you do that? That's actually what you're supposed to do. The best thing to do is, like, I will put Gelatinous Wall on a water land. Upgrade that land to level 5 or 4. And then Relief Kelpie onto it. Because Kelpie's pretty weak. Kelpie is only a 30-30. 30 strength, 30 HP. You know, even on a level 5 land, it's only 80 HP. If it's on a level 3 land, it's only 60. Well, you know, something like him does 60 damage already. Okay, well, Jelly Wall is 50 HP, so it's got a little more oomph. Take damage. Okay, so when you relieve a creature, like if I swapped Jelly Wall for Kelpie, like if they put bulimia on Kelpie, if they put I forgot the name of it, but basically the enchantment is when the creature is in battle, at the end of battle the creature just dies. Doesn't matter if you defended it or not, doesn't matter if you were successful or not, creature dies. Well, if you leave it, so if you like swap out these two or any two creatures, the enchantment is removed. Great for poison. Great for poison. Again, I don't know if Chariot does it. I think it might, but I don't know. But I know that this will remove the enchantment. Another card to have that's great is Spirit Walk. Target creature can travel to any vacant land within the area when moving. What this means is that Spirit Walk, if you Spirit Walk a creature, remember when you go past a creature or you land on it, or land on a castle or fort, you can control its territory. You can increase the land level, you can change the land terrain type, you can exchange it for another creature, you can use a creature ability if it has it, or you can move it. And Spirit Walk on a 0-100 HP Kelpie is amazing, because you can put Kelpies anywhere you want. Now remember, if you land on a Spirit Walk Kelpie and you move it, make sure you move the Kelpie past where you are, just so when you land on it, you can move it again. Okay, another card that's in here is Telegnosis. This adds enlightenment to yourself until the next round. So basically, just for that turn, you have enlightenment, and then the card recycles to the book. Now, what is enlightenment? Enlightenment is an enchantment where you can control any territory you own for that turn. It's kind of like if you landed on a castle or if you landed on a fort. Okay, so that's why I go into a map real quick. Oh, I can't, never mind. Ew, I'm over cards? I didn't even add any. Did I? Yeah, I don't remember adding a card. It says I'm over. I don't know, but can't pull up a map just yet. But basically, if you were to land on anything that's not a fort or tower, while you have Telegnosis active, you can control any land that you own as if it did land on a tower or a castle. And it's really great because doing that, you can Spirit Walk, move another Powder Eater to another location. This is why in a very short amount of time you can quickly move Powder Eaters. And just like Find, we have Wind of Hope. You draw 2 cards from your book. This is one of the best drawing spells because it's relatively cheap. Like this one is, this I think is the second best draw spell in the game. I don't remember. Especially with Revolt out, I don't remember which one's the best, but this is up there, Draw 1 card, get Find back. This one, draw 2 cards. The other draw card that's also really amazing is... Let's see if I can find it. target scepter gains 100 magic and draws a card. Now, this card is changed in Revolt slightly, and for the better in my opinion. Gift costs 50 mana, and you gain 100. So basically, you draw a card and you get 50 mana for free. Fantastic card in this version. In Revolt, I believe it costs 100, and gain 50 mana, and you draw a card based on your rank. Now, in Revolt, what's your rank? Well, your player rank is where you are in progression of best to worst at that point in time in the game. Like, if you have the least amount of mana, right, and it's a 4-way battle, you're probably in 4th position. So what that means is for 100 mana, you're going to gain 50 mana times 4, 200, and you're going to draw 4 cards. You know, if it was a 1v1, then for 100 mana you get 100 mana back, it's free, and you draw 2 cards. Again, if you're in 1st, then, you know, it's gonna get you only 50 mana back, which isn't bad. 50 mana for a card. Oh, and notice one thing, it says target scepter. You can force your opponent to draw a card, you can force even your own teammate, if it was 2v2, to draw a card. Okay, so that is the Powdered Eater Kelpie book. Remember, you do not need to use the same cards that I use. I will say, Powder Eater is needed. Aura Blade is needed. Counter Amulet, Gaseous Form, Storm Armor are needed. Anti-Magic, up to you. Chariot, kind of needed. Fat Body, needed. Find, needed. Land Protection, iffy. Probably not. Don't run these. I use Land Protection for basically these two. Jelly Wall and Kelpie. Mutation, needed. Relief, needed. Spirit Walk, Telegnosis are needed. Wind of Hope, again, I would say needed, but don't know. Again, it's up to you. Maybe you want to use Gift. Maybe you want to have more Find. Oh, and Brass Idol, not really needed. I kind of like it because it gives me extra drawing. You know, instead of drawing 1 card, you draw 2. You go through things faster, get your cards you need faster. Alright, let me highlight this, and then make a highlight stamp, and then I can